here's our outline for today. Questions were like, how's your heart? What are you learning this year? What are you grinding on? We just talked about how we learn. We're going to get to stories in a second. That's the scope according to the CommSop, and then certain perspectives on commercial kitchens. Then we're going to talk about when you actually approach, when you go through the door, if you will, when you walk into a commercial kitchen, how do you handle that part of the inspection? With the contact with the kitchen schedule, defining the space, locating the finishes, and locating a few key locations. Then when I come back up, we'll just be going over case studies of jobs that I've done. And then I'll save some time again at the end for Q&A. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. The CCPIA course is online. It's mostly text. The one before it was a lot of video, but this course online is text. Speaking of learning and recalling terms, I wanted to give you some terms we're going to talk about. So CCPIA, Certified Commercial Property Inspectors Association. CCPIA CommSop is great for inspectors to understand really specific pieces of a commercial building to inspect. And ASTM is really written for, if you will, architects and engineers to sort of just write reports and not do what they normally do. But it is the standard that you may hear discussed by your investor types, by your real estate investment trusts, those kinds. I think you need to know both, and I've said this many times. It's not to denigrate either one. I think you need to be aware of both of them and know how to use them. The ASTM gives absolutely zero direction on what to do once you're on site. Really none. It doesn't tell you what a defect is. It doesn't tell you what to put your hands on, what to test, none of that. It just tells you to look at stuff. It tells you where to go, kinda, but not what to do. So it's interesting to compare and contrast those two. I teach on both of them when I teach. You need to know what life safety is and how it relates to a commercial kitchen. I'll talk about this later, but really, a whole section in the CommSop for commercial kitchens, the whole commercial kitchen section has to do with life safety and fire protection. It's all about the hood and the manual pull alarm and maybe one or two other things. It's all fire safety, life safety. Fire protection as well. You want to know what the exhaust hood is, what it does. Exhaust hood. You want to know what the kitchen finishes are and why they're different than the rest of the building. You want to know what a grease trap is. What is fog? Anybody know what fog is in relation to commercial kitchens? Because I had forgotten and then I had to recall it recently. Anybody know what fog is?
Fat oil and grease.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like we opened up an outside grease trap at a local hospital, and my buddy, I hired a subcontractor. I wrote this course and I still hired a subcontractor to help me with this. And he brought his septic gear, and we were talking about it, looking through it, and I was like, this is basically a septic system, right? And he's like, yeah, it doesn't have a leach field, but it's basically the same thing. And I was like, okay, I can hang my hat on that. So fats, oils, and grease that are in the drain line, guys. Type 1 and Type 2, Rob does a great job on the course of delineating between those two. FOG stands for fats, oils, and grease. So, like, and I'm not sure how it breaks down when it's in the grease trap exactly, but it's very similar to like scum, effluent, and sludge in a septic system. One would imagine that it's like mostly fats and grease at the bottom and the oils float on top would be my guess. I went and did it to learn more, really. I think we put a video out on it. You want to know what makeup air is, guys, in the HVAC system and why it's needed? I'll do a slide on that later to break down makeup air. You want to know what the Ansel system is? I don't know how much detail I'm going to get into the Ansel system. It's kind of hard to photograph, if you will, because it's literally inside the hood. But you want to know what it is and kind of where it lives. And listen, anytime you're on a first, second, third job and you don't feel like you know something, I just kind of like this whole attitude that we're supposed to know everything is not helpful. Just ask somebody. Like, I remember my first pre-drywall, I just like prayed that I would get a good building manager. And he would walk me around and show me everything, and the Lord answered my prayers, right? And I learned so much from that guy. Just say to the kitchen manager, like, hey, I'm having a hard time finding the Ansel system. Could you show me where it is? And it might be that, oh, it's hidden over here. You know, you might not have even really missed it. Just kind of be honest that you're doing your job and you're working hard at it. And you know some things, but you're still learning. That's a much better approach to take, guys, than being proud all the time that you know it all. It just is. That whole comment, I thought a lot about that why don't we make more money thing. It's just like, you don't know it all, man. You're going to have to change and grow. Shocker. I know that's a real wound to our pride. But it's a lot better if we say it to ourselves again and we take that attitude that we're going to grow and learn than it is that we're stuck and that we have a fixed mindset. So we're going to learn words, we're going to learn terms, we're going to learn approaches today. You want to know what egress is and how it relates to commercial kitchens. Egress is, just simply put, your emergency exit. What's going on when you walk into a space? So this is all just kind of laying the foundation for our discussion. So you may well be working for a buyer. There may be a general manager present. The owner may be there, may not be there. Is still involved in the deal, whatever you're working on. You're going to encounter kitchen staff. There may be a maintenance manager or a kitchen manager. There may be a property manager that works for the owner. There may be, the owner may have their own realtor in some cases, as well as the buyer. And then when I come out with multiple people, I'm the assessor or the project manager, and then I bring along inspectors.